I love Nestle Crunch. Hi. I don't know why I chose that as an introduction today. I'm feeling a bit goofy. But can I tell you something hilarious? I have not posted a podcast episode in so long that I embarrassingly had to literally wipe dust off of my headphones. Eee, that's really embarrassing, don't you think? But it's okay. It's okay because I have reasons, I have excuses. So today's episode is just basically, well, I do have a topic, of course. Is kind of really going over just honest to God, what the hell have I been up to? What have I been doing? What goals have I accomplished? Um like just what's up? What's up? What's up? So let's start off by saying why I've kind of been like a little bit more inconsistent than I would like to be. Well, that's because I'm lacking on time. Why am I lacking on time? Because I got a new job. I still am a server at the restaurant, but I also did get accepted for the position with Best Self as a targeted case manager. I'm pretty happy about it. So that's super exciting. But before we get too far into things, I want to say welcome back. Talking about the taboo with Natalie Malloy. Obviously, we have the normals, like going over what the sex toy of the month is. We have like, the update and stuff like that. Before we go into the sex toy, I just want to literally puke all over what's been going on in my life. I just want to spurt it out to you guys. And for those of you that are my regular listeners and are like, where have you been? I want to answer your question because I know you're just as eager to hear it as I am to say it. So I did get the job as a targeted case manager at Best Self, and it's been interesting. Let's leave it at that because it is a new position, coming out of college and, oh my God, almost a year ago. Oh my God, I'm looking at the camera because it's like, what the fuck? Almost a year ago, I came out of college and I didn't know if I was going to get a job right away. I felt like I didn't have enough experience, and I still feel like I don't have enough experience. That imposter syndrome is heavily kicking in. There's so much to learn. There's so much that I need to learn, that I want to learn, and getting into that like office like job, even though I'll be like in the community. So my specific position is working with children and their parents and just helping them with services to help them, improve their daily life and giving them that toolbox that they need to succeed in anything. And so that's where I am. I'm that resource for them and just to help them, move forward with regular daily activities. Um, but there's so many resources that I don't know about. There's just the certain, things you have to input into the system, and there's insurance and there's billables and there's free text notes and there's just so much that you have to learn. But these are things that like it's normal. They're technical. You have to learn the EMR systems. Like I'm a server. I had to learn, all of the system like Toaster Aloha and stuff like that. I did that work. I've been a server for many years and I'm really good at it now. So when I look at the other TCMs that are just so amazing, I get like butthurt. I'm like, damn, like this is how new servers come in and that's how they feel because this is like fucking hard. Okay. Like learning it all is really stressful, but I've been doing what I've been doing. I work 8:30 to 4 and I'm making sure to stay sane. And I did say in the interview and I wanted to hold it to my word, right? Is that they said, "What is your form of self-care?" My self-care is my podcast. I love doing this, and yeah, it is difficult because I'm on the screen majority of my day, and I'm coming back to be on a screen for the second half of my day. But this part of my day is, like, relaxing, and I enjoy it, and I want to be here. Not that I don't wanna be there, but I don't get paid for this, guys. So this is just fully, like, what I love to do, what I love to talk about. I love helping people whether I'm doing it at my job or I'm doing it on my podcast, which will soon be payable out, I think. Um, I am just always kind of striving to just like help, 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 and this is helping me too because it's my digital diary. I get to just completely throw up all over you guys, and you guys accept it, and you want more of it. It's crazy. It's, like, insane to me. Um, so yeah, I have that new job, but I also, um, you know, got back from a cruise less than a week ago, and, I'm just gonna jump right into it. I can't jump right into it because I popped my damn knee out, guys. I was on the cruise. I was known as the dancer on the cruise, actually. So I went to a Carnival cruise ship with a couple of family members and family friends. There was about 8 of us. Okay, it was an all girls trip on Carnival Cruise Lines. Okay, Carnival Breeze it was. We joined a Facebook group before we went on there, met a whole bunch of people. There was a lot of people in that group, and we bumped into a lot of people from that group on the ship, you know. So it's really, really cool to get to know your ship before you're on the ship. And I am a dancer. I love dancing, whether I'm line dancing or just dancing to the beat of the song and the words of the song. And I make moves as I go. And I was known as the dancer on the ship. And there was this one day where we were on the deck and the DJ was just killing it, like no scrubs, Cupid shuffle, then doing the wobble. Remember that? Doing the wobble, like it was insane. And then I noticed all the kids in the pool because I was in the little pool area where you could step in, but it's not exactly the pool yet. It's just water. I start dancing, and I notice all these kids are staring at me. All of a sudden, these kids, one by one, get up and start mocking my dancing, like, not in a bad way, but, like, copying me and doing the dance with me, and I got them all out of their shell. It was freaking amazing. I taught a bunch of them the wobble, some of them Cupid shuffle, um, some of them another dance I can't even think of the name of right now. It was so sweet, and my mom was in awe, of course, because I personally do not want kids. Of course, she wants to be a grandmother, but I'm just not down like that. Um, but essentially, I was known as the dancer, okay? So, remember when I said I did the wobble? Yeah, so the wobbles played a lot on cruise ships, and it's kind of insane. Every single night, I went to the club on the ship with my 2 friends I found. One, Alyssa, her name's Alyssa, she is from, the group from Facebook, and the other one is Autumn, who I met at the club with Alyssa. So it was really awesome, and how did I meet Autumn? I was dancing, and she was just down for the vibes. That was exactly it, and I truly believe that dancing brings you to other people, whether you like it or not. I just happen to have that courage to kinda go out there alone, show up to the club, and dance in the middle of the floor by myself, and that's how it goes. Everybody gets your vibes and it goes from there. Uh, the night before I popped my knee out, I was wearing my, big booty shaking pants. You know what I mean? Jiggle, wiggle, wiggle with it, and I start stretching because you know how it is. And, I start stretching, my friends are looking at me stretch, laughing at me. The next thing they know, they turn around, I'm in the middle of the floor twerking ass on the ground, baby. Mhm. Forgot which song it was, but I was twerking ass on the ground, and tell me why these people were throwing money at me. Bro, for 30 seconds, I made $10. 'Cause she got it like that. It was hilarious. It was a crazy night, and I had the drink package, okay? And they got the all-you-can-eat package, 'cause I ate. Mm. Anyways, I danced a lot, did a lot, and then the next night, it was the night before we had to leave, and cruise ships are exhausting. Like, there's so much to do, and it's so much fun, but it's just so exhausting. And so, I was like, "Fine, I'll go to the club. It's my last night with my friends. What am I doing? I'm doing the wobble in competition with a guy who's doing a handstand, okay? And I was going hard, hard, and line dancers do the wobble like this, like, 1, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, and, like, my knee, like, went out, like, it was crazy. And I already had surgery on my left knee for a ligament transplant, and I felt the pop in my right, and I knew it was the same. So I had to unfortunately say goodbye to my friends, go back to my room, and I somehow I made it back to my room, got pizza too. Don't know how I did it, I was so drunk by myself. I was just, like, rowing the ship at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning. We had to leave at 7 AM the next day, but they came out, they got me, put me in, and majority of my party, I ended up in a wheelchair. My mom had to wear a knee brace. My friend, family friend Erica broke her foot on the way to the cruise ship. She tripped over her suitcase and rolled on her foot, and my Aunt Rose just can't really walk that well. She already brought a walker, and me, my Aunt Sandy, and Jen were the only ones left standing, and I Hurt my knees, what do you know? Because I love that dancing. I am, of course, feeling a lot better, but I do have an MRI this Friday. Uh, but not many people can say that they hurt themselves on a cruise doing the wobble, and now they're the one wobbling. It's just really hilarious, honestly. It's hilarious. Um, so I'm not working my server job right now because of that, and I hope to get back to it because money. Um, really need money. Okay, I'm struggling. Anyways, bills are getting paid, but also my relationship is fantastica. I have only really released it on here because I know the real true people who will care are the people who listen on here. Okay. It is amazing. It is so communicative, and I'm learning a lot of my own toxic tendencies. And before I get into today's topic, and this is kind of relevant, I want to talk about a fight that him and I actually had because this is where I learned something universal. Um, in communications with the universe is what I mean, and just learn something that I'm I'm toxic about as well because I'm not a blame person. I can take accountability for my actions. So, I don't like bugs, and unfortunately, he lives by the beach, so there's just a lot of bugs, and I walk in already stressed out from a fight I had had previously with somebody else, and I was stressed, and I saw a whole bunch of ants coming out from under his couch, and I fucking freaked out, and he just got home from work too, so he's stressed out, and, I was just, like, overstimulated from the ants. We cleaned up all of the ants, and then, I just couldn't get down from that, like, fight mode, and he was kinda, like, laughing at me, when I was saying, like, "Don't move the couch back, the ants are gonna come back," and he wasn't laughing at me, but I just had to continue the fight, right? So I was like, "Why are you laughing at me? Like, it's not fucking funny," and, like, I knew deep down that, like, he was laughing because he just laughs in awkward situations like that, and he really does actually think it's cute, but, like, he knows I'm serious. But, I threatened him, I'm like, "I'm about to leave, whatever," and I end up leaving, like, I get in my car and pull off, okay? And this is something I used to do in my past is just, like, avoid everything, like, I didn't wanna be in their presence, I think it's just too awkward, and, like, we never had to work it out, we never wanted to work it out, it was just silent treatment, I didn't talk to you, whatever like that. And I kid you not, guys, I got 5 minutes down the road, maybe 5 minutes-ish down the road, everything in me was telling me to go back. Everything in me. Wanna know what made me go back? Not only was I falling asleep at the wheel because it was really late, okay? The song that wasn't even on my playlist, this was not on my playlist, I do not have this downloaded, was "Turn Around" in all caps. That's the universal symbol I'm talking about, okay? Turn Around, it wasn't the "Turn Around" and every no, it was not that song, it was, like, a different random song I've never heard of in my entire life, and I kinda liked it, it was a vibe, and I found myself singing, I'm like, "Oh god." So I turned around and I put aside my pride and I went back inside. No, I did not talk about it there and then, but I did go to bed and we just laid there and cuddled, and, the next morning, we had to talk about it, and even the other day when I got back already, we talked about it again, and I just like to make sure that I'm making sure that he feels loved, and that takes us into the topic for this episode. It is about love languages. It's about love languages. It's long overdue. This was my request. I wanted to do it because that fight, that disagreement reminded me of how people want to feel loved and heard and validated. And after an argument, you kind of need to do this because I just lost my shoe, guys. I'm being real with you right now. You ever take off your shoes and lose the other one? Bruh. Found it. Anyways, this is a hilarious episode, guys. I'm just overtired. Do you see it in my face? Like, I'm usually all dolled up, but I'm just not. Let me, like, fix my hair, too. It's kind of bothering me. I'm usually all dolled up, but I can't right now. Okay, so today's episode is about love languages. So, um, love languages, people always aren't able to differentiate between what they want to receive and what they want to, give out. And you can expect what you give in return, because your love language could be forgiving, could be, one, and your love language for receiving could be the same exact one. So let's kind of dive right into it. And what are those 5 love languages? So the first one is what I like to call the less talk the talk and the more walk the walk, okay? These are acts of service. You want to do something for your partner. We'll get into detail about every single one of these slightly later. I just kind of want to go over briefly what these love languages are, okay? The next one, it's giving. That means gift giving, gift receiving, etc. It's very similar to acts of service. I'll talk about that kind of like, mixing of love languages a little bit later. The next is, but I want you to tell me, okay? This is words of affirmation. You want them to tell you and affirm what you're saying, okay? Can we hold fingers? And I say this one's funny because this one's physical touch. That's the 5th one. Um, I had this thing where sometimes I'm just like sensory overload and I don't like holding hands like this all the time for long periods. It's just after I got bit by the dog, like I have really, really bad nerve damage in my hands and it's bad. So holding like this for long periods of time really is annoying. So I like to like hold on to like a pinky, when we're walking, just keep that physical touch, because my boyfriend at least likes physical touch. So we made a compromise there. I don't always need to be touching somebody, but he likes it and he wants me to touch him more. That is how he wants to receive love, right? So if we're out and I don't want to hold hands, I'll just like hold his finger, or I'll like touch his arm, or I'll hold his arm, something like that. And he hasn't complained about it. He'll just go with my weirdness. Like, why do you want to hold my finger, you weirdo? Like, you sucking on my thumb too? Later. Anyways, see, he's definitely gonna hear this. He's gonna laugh so hard at that one. Mwah. Um, so, but remember that you are not limited to one love language. So you can sit there and be like, yeah, so I like acts of service, but I kind of also love when he touches me. So, which one then? They mix, they intertwine all of the time. You can go up and down, but some people just lie more with one than the other, and that's normal. That's fine. Excuse me. But remember to stay focused on that giving versus receiving phenomenon that people kind of mess up. You can give love, show love by physical touch. That other partner could want acts of service. So you do need to compromise, okay? You still want to give a physical touch because that's how you show it. That's how you would usually show it. But then you need to answer to them, what do they actually want? Okay? You make compromises for your partner, not bad ones. And a relationship is something that you work at. You literally have to teamwork it. And speaking of a teamwork based attitude, we're going to get into the first more in depth with the first love language, which is acts of service, more walk the walk, less talk the talk, more walk the walk. Okay. So you're going to use action phrases like, I'll help you. Okay. I will help you do this. And team based would be an example like Sunday reset days. The house needs to get cleaned. Okay. And excuse me, you're both off on Sundays. Let's make a schedule. Every Sunday is Sunday reset day. We're going to clean the kitchen, the living room, the bathrooms, okay? Do the laundry, whatever it may be. Whatever we don't get done, that's okay. Let's reward ourselves with some quality time, which is another love language a little bit later on. So you see how those can go kind of hand in hand. I'll have more examples later on, but these are just simple things, and honestly guys, love language respecting is honestly a bare minimum. I'm not sorry, because it is. Understanding them more in depth, that's where you have to put in effort, okay? Like, people don't go over the definitions like I am right now, but I'm helping you kind of like really pinpoint what these issues are. So then later on, when you are thinking more in depthly or want to, like, you're like, oh, okay, like that's what that means. Secondly is the gift giving slash receiving. So it's like simply just thinking of them. You went to the store, you saw something that she would like, and maybe you go give it to her, or she said that she needed more face moisturizer, and you specifically took a picture of her facial moisturizer before you left for work to go pick it up because you know she's gonna forget to bring it home because she has to get gas too. So, like, you see that really big, like, in-depth thoughtfulness? It is literally all about the thought. Honest to God, it's all about that, and for me, I love it. Acts of service, though, kinda combined with gift giving because, um, he could go get the gas for me instead, like, that's not really a gift, but it is, um, for me in my car, like, at night, so, like, acts of service and gift giving kinda go hand in hand, but I love this one. I love feeling like someone thought of me outside of when I was with them, and, that just makes me feel so just loved. Okay. Next, quality time. Okay, this is a focused time. There is no, but we hang out every day. We live together, whatever, whatever. That's not quality time. It is focused, specifically sat down and planned quality time. For example, TikTok is having this trend right now, okay, where you're getting a blank canvas and some paints and you're painting your couple in a little couple portrait. And some of them turn out hilarious. Some of them are amazing painters, low key. You can say, "Hey, like, I know we're both off on Monday," or, "Hey, after work on Monday, can we do that paint your partner challenge?" And you'll show them a video, you'll laugh about it, and if they're cool and they're good vibes and they're the right person, they're gonna be like, "Oh, hell yeah." And maybe you can even make a TikTok out of it, and it'll be a really cute memory. So, just stuff like that where you actually are it's focused, phones away, it's not daily chores, okay? Like, that's not well, some people consider, like, Sunday recess as quality time, but you wanna do something, like, not necessity, right? You wanna just do it because you're relaxing and having a grand old time with your partner. Okay, next is words of affirmation. I also freaking love this one, okay? Because I love to feel pretty and heard and like you want me to succeed. Um, This is like an action, but you validate it. Okay, so you validate it by saying, "We got this. Oh, we will figure it out. You have a problem? We got it. You need help with something? Okay, we have this way of doing it and this way of doing it." Um, you're also like encouraging them. So I may have a hard day at work, and he would say to me, um, "Hey, but you made money today," and I'm like, "You're doing great. You just graduated less than a year." He'll just tell me all these good things and keep me, focused. But this also, words of affirmation can also look like this, and I wrote it down. I'm gonna read this word from word. "I'll be busy today. I know we have a date at 5 and I'll pick you up at 4:45." So that's making sure to let them know of the plans, right? Respecting their time, which we'll get to later. "If I can't answer, I'll shoot you a text. Have a good day. Love you." Okay? If they can't answer and they're busy throughout the day, they already did tell you they're busy, but if they really, really cannot answer, "Hey, can't answer," but like, or so don't even say that, "I'll shoot you a text." Just say that, and you made sure to text them at least once because everybody knows you're on your phone, okay? Everybody knows that you're on your phone like once or twice. You can even send a damn emoji to me. I'll be happy. But I never had that problem. Me and him send TikToks and messages to each other of how much we fucking want to fuck each other all goddamn day. So I ain't worried about that. Anyways, lastly is physical touch. This is how my man wants to receive it. This is also how he tries to give it. But I also like acts of service, which he's working on, which he has been doing a great job at. But he loves touching all over me and rubbing me, and I love it. And this is all about like body language and affection. You also want to make intimacy a priority. You always want to try to focus on that loving, feeling like you can be yourself and breathing type of mentality in a relationship, getting to know each other and putting in that effort. For example, you could be in line and you could rub your partner's back, and look at them and just let them know like you're here. Just remind them of your presence, and you know, if you love them, say I love you and stuff like that. So those are kind of overall what those love languages are, and I want to kind of show you how mixing those love languages are when you put them in action. So these are again specific examples that I wrote down for you guys to kind of get a picture of the mixing love languages. So the first one, I bought, this is gift giving or acts of service, that card game we saw at Marshall's the other day. I want to have a day to maybe drink some wine, cook, and play, asking for quality time. Okay? You're asking for specific quality time from them as a receiving, and how you're giving the love is, gifts and an act of service. You bought the card game. Next, okay, is a different one. Baby, I know we, affirmation, you're using the we word, are at a rough spot right now. How could I be a better partner to you? And you're holding their hand, you're giving them physical touch while you're saying this. So those are going hand in hand. You're giving, receiving, giving, so, and how they respond to that is super important, because I like words of affirmation. They could be like, baby, I love that you just, care so much about being a good girlfriend to me. Um, affirmations right there. Probably he'll still be holding my hand, that's physical touch right there, okay? But I honestly think that you're doing an amazing job, and I love that you're learning from your mistakes. We literally just had this conversation the other day at Longhorn, okay? So this is why I'm using it as a great example. We talked about an argument that we had that I just shared with you guys. We talked it out, what went well, what didn't go well, what am I working on, how am I communicating, and just from our old relationship 5 years ago to what we are today is just absolutely stunning. I'd also like to say what he said to me the other day will stick with me, and it makes me the most happiest girl alive, and he really does make me feel like I'm the only girl in the world, and that is so cliche to say, but he told me that our sex is like a sunset, his favorite thing in the world, and he loves sunsets. We met at a camp where it has beautiful sunsets, and we'd skip rocks and stuff like that at sunset. We did at camp, and now that he lives on a beach and the sunset is absolutely gorgeous near him, I think that the plot is just plotting right now. And when he said that to me, I just felt so divine, and that is the right word to use, and that's what I'm gonna leave it at. So, find you someone who says that your sex is like a sunset, because holy shit. Um, he amazes me every day. But I wanted to talk about as well, as self-care or care is separate, sorry. As well as giving love language, you also have self-love language, and isn't that so funny? I just got a tattoo that says self-love, and you guys can go on my Instagram to see that later on when I actually post it. I haven't posted a picture of it yet. But I have been on this journey. I've been with you guys on here and building this confidence. And I thought the tattoo was just absolutely amazing. I got a lotus with it up at the armpit area and in the rib, and I'm just very happy to have that tattoo. But you also need to give yourself love. Okay. Excuse me. So physical touch in your love language could be massages. I have a medical masseuse that I like to go to, but with money being a little bit tight, I cannot go to them right now. But thankfully, I have a man that massages me for me. Anyways, but if I want to, you know, get my nails done or something like that, my physical touch this month was that self-love tattoo. Right, to feel that pain, no gain, pain without love, pain can't get enough pain. I like it rough because I rather feel pain and nothing at all. Yeah, it's an amazing song. The tattoo artist liked me singing it too. Anyways, um, so, stuff like that. Quality time could be what exactly I'm doing right now. I'm doing my podcast because I said I have self-care and self-love, and I love what I do. I love this podcast. I love my digital platform that I share here with you guys. So, stuff like that is stuff that it will become more and more prevalent to you when you build that self-love. Um, I buy myself things, okay? I bought myself this tattoo. So that's again mixing love languages there. I had now gift giving and physical touch, a boom, a boom, boom, okay? Acts of service for myself will be like kind of mixed with words of affirmation. I'll make sure that I'm doing something for myself and I'm telling myself that you're doing it for you. This feels good. Remind myself, you're doing great. You got this, stuff like that. And I tell it to myself too. Okay. But when I talk about self love, I talk about also understanding that you have to respect your own time, like you respect everybody else's time. And what I mean by that is like that I was thinking about this the other day when, you know, people are doing a lot at work and they're taking their work outside of work and bring it into what is supposed to be self-care time, right? Outside of work. I'm not at work right now. This is only 6:48. This is my self-care. I'm happy to be here. I feel so good. When you excuse the background. I just don't have a place that's quiet, and I'm sorry. It's very unprofessional, aggravates the living crap out of me. Even though I have a sign out there that says I'm on air, they don't respect it. Whatever. Anyways, when you are given sorry, they're really aggravating me. When you are asked, "Hey, can you take me to the doctor's office?" 1 second. So your grandma can be like, "Hey, I have a doctor's appointment at 5 o'clock on Friday. Can you take me there?" And you're like, "Absolutely." So what do? You have work until 4, you go home, you walk the dog, grab a little snack. It's about, 4:40, 4:45. You come back in, get changed. It's about 5:15. Your grandma lives about 10 minutes away. You go out and get everything that you need and do what you got to do. You take her to her appointment, you get her back home. Hey, do you want something to eat? You check on her, make sure she gets in her house, yada, 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 right? Now you tell yourself that you want to go to bed by 10 o'clock at night. 11 o'clock rolls around, 12 o'clock rolls around, 1 o'clock a.m., 1 o'clock a.m., 1 a.m., and you have work at 9 o'clock in the morning. It is now 3 o'clock in the morning, and you told yourself you wanted to go to bed at 9 tonight. Okay, you disrespected your own time, but you would respect somebody else's time. So you need to start respecting your own time like you would respect somebody else's time. And that's something that needs to keep me to remind myself, other people. I have a friend right now who is just like overstressed with work right now. It's the same thing I would tell her is respect your time like they like you want them to respect yours, right? Or you would respect others. But that's kinda what I wanted to get into today, and this was a short but also kinda long episode. There is what is called a love language test on, something called Agape, and I kinda wanna share what my results were with you. Um, so it's saying that I have 12% affection and physical intimacy, which I think is wrong. 16% generous and helpful acts, 13% prioritizing the relationship, 32% empathy, and 27% affirmation. The link for this test will be in the description below. Uh, Go ahead and take it for yourself. The questions are like there's like a question, what means the most to you, then you have to choose between the two. Again, all love languages can be all of your love languages, whether you're giving or receiving, and they all go hand in hand as long as you're giving it the generous and thoughtfulness, right? And understanding that there is certain different types of ways that people want to be loved, just like there's different types of ways, like learning styles and stuff like that. So, thank you for coming to talk about the taboo. Um, I know I did not go over a sex toy today, but I want to kind of go over I don't know if I showed this. I think I did already, okay? But if I did, I'm sorry. I wanted to talk about this book briefly. It's called The Ritual. That is so creepy that it's the right way. That is so weird. Anyways, this is consensual, non-consensual, type of sex, and could be triggering for some type of people, but for some reason it turns me on because I'm a little bit toxic, okay? My friend Kaylee gave me this book. It's absolutely a great book. I have not been able to read it because of my cyst in my head, and my eyes have been hurting, and I look at the screen daily, but I'm gonna try. Again, here I am telling myself I'm gonna try to do what? Respect my time and say, "I wanna read that book." Simple as that. Maybe I don't read that book today because this was my self-care today, and I just feel like just completely just chillaxing and doing nothing after this, okay? Maybe tomorrow self-care, I will read that book. That is an amazing book, and I love spicy books, so if anyone has any spicy book ideas, let me know down below because I am always open to reading them even though I'm an absolutely slow reader. I hope that you learned just a thing or two, even if it's that Natalie popped out her knee doing the wobble. Um, if you learned a thing or two, I'm happy. And always remember to what? Communicate. By the way, there will be beanies for sale very soon. Mwah. XOXO.